ACT.
Yeah.
I'm about to start.
Okay. About this right now.
Hey, do you? Do what you gotta do, okay? You just have to be prepared to suffer the consequences of whatever those actions are.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I was so surprised at how he was looking at me. I was talking to him. I was like, do you need to say something? Do you need help? Like, use real words. And he didn't. And then so Melanie started rubbing his head. And I was like, do you have hand sanitizer? And she was like, I don't. And I'm like, oh my God, what are we doing? And then
I think she's about to sneak me. So she calls my dad, and my dad comes in. He got his big cowboy hat on and everything. And I know he don't know how to read, so I ain't worried about him at all. So he sits next to me.
now
I
that we
don't
know
think
it
he
wasn't about us.
would use the hammer if he was using a gauntlet for evil. This just doesn't make you pure and worthy enough.
That's your phone, though.
You know, we do the whole thing and get our jitters out before we go.
I don't know why. It's like every time we pre-record, it's like I know.
Get it all out. Okay, let's see. So I got some good news for y'all before we start, and some bad news before we start. Which one y'all want?
Yes.
You just said yes. What? And you said bad. Okay. Well, the bad news is, unfortunately, this will be the last season 4. You want to know the good news?
What?
We're gonna have a season 5. Let's kick it off. All right. So look, it's season 4 already.
What does Cam have to say to that? Cam don't.
I ain't worried about Cam. I ain't worried about Cam.
Like
I ain't worried about Cam. I'm not worried about Cam. I'm just saying that we have kicked off season 4. That means we will never have another season 4. We have done this. We are moving forward.
After season 4, there will be more? No. Because season 4 should have been in 24, but we're in 25. So it's Let's Come Alive.
But by the end of 25, we'll be in season 5. So it still works out. It still jives. Okay. So we're going to stop this because now we're getting in a yes, I'm sorry.
I figured it would be.
Why is it still?
I figured it would be.
Okay.
So, now let's just do it.
Yeah, you know it. All right. So hey, y'all, welcome back to season 4 of Easy Monday Motivation. It is Johnny My Liege and the homeboy CT. We are back in the saddle, ready to make it happen. If you have had some time off and enjoyed the holidays like we did, you know, we just want to say welcome to 2025. I know a lot of things have changed, but we're still here and we're going to keep showing up for you every Monday to keep you motivated through the conversational topics that we try to bring to our wonderful, wonderful family. The EMM family is constantly growing. If you have not, please remember to like, subscribe, follow, do all of the shares and shares because we needs them cheers. We want to get 5 stars everywhere. We need that algorithm to keep us bumping. Boom, boom, based on the bump. All right. But I have to check in with my people because I haven't seen y'all, man. How was the holidays? I'm going to come to you first, Johnny My Leash. How was your holidays? I know you love to spend time with family. What happened?
I do. You know I do. It's so funny. Like we wait all year for the holidays to come and I have a great time. And then it's just over. Now it seemed like it was so long ago. Yeah, that the holidays even happen. You spent all that time and the money and all the things, but it's been good. I mean, it was great though. It was great spending time with family. I mean, I shut down, so I wasn't doing anything but chilling and hanging out with family. So it was all good. And now we're back into the grind like it never even happened.
Well, that is the up and down side. It's like,
did you follow your Tea Talk advice over the holidays on your spending?
Well, we ain't gonna talk about that. T-Talk ain't here, and we ain't gonna talk about that. And hopefully, she won't watch this intro. She can catch up after this.
After the show, yeah. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Yes. She will be talking to T-Talk with T after the talk. So let's go that T. CT.
I don't appreciate you putting me out there like that, CT.
I was just asking questions. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't putting you out there. I was just simply wanting to elevate that beautiful, brilliant mind that came in season 4 that gave us some wisdom early on, and I just wanted to make sure, because it's your family too. So
it is. We have to talk about that. Not when it comes to holiday spending.
Oh,
we'll leave that out.
She tried to. Hey, on everything he tried to snitch on you to your cousin twin.
Yes, cousin twin. He did.
Got the cousin twin out here gonna snitch out.
I'm just glad that you are coming to grips with the whole idea of a cousin twin.
I haven't.
No, because you weren't feeling it last season.
That's right.
I still don't. It's
right.
Cool. But I mean, hey.
It's a part of your language now, though.
No, it's your language. It's something you recognize. So, as a friend of you and a person who is open, I have no problem using the term that applies to somebody, but it never applies to me. So that's cool. Johnny, I mean, hey, look, there's people out here that want to be called cats. Hey, you a cat? Hey, all right,
don't do that, Johnny. Don't just agree with him, Johnny.
It's all good. I
mean, we.
Absolutely do. You're right. Hashtag E loves cousin twins. Thank you, Cam. You know what I do. That's right. I love all y'all the cousin twins out there that y'all have for yourselves with each other, with other people. That ain't
the CT made up.
Yeah, the CT made up. Yeah. And I just want y'all to know that cousin twins is short for CT. It just doesn't make any sense. But CT, how was your holiday out there causing trouble? Another CT thing.
Oh, it's gonna be a good season. It's gonna be a good season. I'm telling you, this this other CD is cause tension. That's what I'm saying is what we're gonna do during this season. Okay. Hey, listen, we had like everybody else, went through the holidays because I started this business. I had like folks on a budget, and the good thing is that we stayed pretty close to it, and we were still able to celebrate the way we celebrated. The only big difference is that normally we are not in Ohio. We were in Ohio. Not to suggest that was a problem, but it was a problem. And so, but it gave us an opportunity to see family and fellowship and all of those things, and drive all over the city to see everybody. It was awesome.
You sound really happy about it.
So great. I'm trying to do the Johnny smile while I talk. Like, that was so great. And so it was good to see family and whatnot. But the thing that I loved most, like, happened after the holiday. Like, after the holiday, the Ohio State Buckeyes won that national championship. Put that whipping on every team that came across their path. And so, for all of y'all out there, if you will, give me that OH.
I owe nobody.
No. I wasn't looking at for y'all. That was in the comments. The comments are gonna give me my IO back. So all I'm saying is,
I just said I owe nobody.
No, those of us that know.
No.
This season, every season we get this like intrusion into the show, right? I'm saying from behind the scenes, it just doesn't always make sense, and it's okay. I'm not hating on anyone in particular. I'm simply celebrating.
CT, CT, you did say that y'all kind of like beat every team that y'all came across, and he just
no. It was after the holiday because it's true.
After the holiday
playoff kicked off, we did that work.
He said,
yeah. So technically, he wasn't wrong with his excerpt.
He wasn't.
It was out of context on the thing that I was discussing at the time. So it's a fine comment for the past. But let's just be present in the moment and just acknowledge how exceptional that team was throughout the playoffs, which brought many of us joy. So I'm beginning February with great joy. The goalpost. See, this is what I'm saying. Another intrusion into the conversation that we're trying to have in front of the camera. You know what I'm saying? Maybe somebody should come from behind the camera and have the conversation with us, but that's okay. We're here. So I'm great. I'm fantastic. Never better. This is going well. Got some new clients, like really engaging in this new life that I have, which is really, really exceptional. When people talk about like this concept, all the feels, I literally have all the feels every day. There are amazing things that are happening. Some are I wouldn't wished it on some people, but it's a lesson that's learned. It was a decision that I made that was good in the moment. It didn't work out the way I wanted it to, and that's okay. Like I'm really learning balance, if that's a really good word. It's not a great word, but I'm really learning to appreciate that every decision and every day is mine, and that's okay. And I love it and own it. And it's good things are happening, y'all. Good things are happening. So I'm looking forward to giving an even deeper update on what's happening with Core, and more specifically what is happening with me. So glad to be back with y'all in the room. So yeah.
All right. Well, you already know I've been watching you, ripping and running and ripping and doing your thing and tripping and flying here and flying there, and unfortunately you guys were not in your favorite place, for the winter time. I did hear that they got like 6 inches of snow. So like 6 inches of snow in there. I'm like, man, that's crazy. Yeah. So
Mel's in the live feeds on that joint. And so she had the feeds into Destin, and they had people walking out on the sand, but it had snow on it.
Yeah.
Hear this view. And then the causeway, I was like, nah, I'm just stranded on the island. I'm just stranded out there because there's no way I'm driving across that icy causeway over. Nah, I'm good. Over the Gulf. And I'm not going to go any further. We're just going to call it the Gulf. Over the Gulf, over into where we had to be. And I'd have just stayed there. But let's be real clear. We would have chosen the snow on the sand versus the snow on the grass. So to be clear.
Yeah, that's dope though. Well, I'm glad that you had a wonderful holiday, and that the pursuit of truth and happiness that you are on is also one that is propelling you in ways that we all know that you should have been propelled. So very happy to see you in your happy space and making space in that space so that you can learn and grow and build like you're supposed to, because nothing is set, as you're building, right? So I love it. So for me, guys, I had a wonderful holiday. You know what I'm saying? I kicked it with the family. We ate real good food. I had a bunch of different events and stuff that came up right around that time. I did virtual cocktail classes. I did some catering events. I did private dinners. I did a whole bunch of stuff during the holidays. And then I sat back. I had a friend come visit me from out of state. We all kicked in and chilled. It was a great time. And then New Year's came, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't do anything. Actually, the crazy thing is, like, since the beginning of the year, I haven't had one drink. So like, and not like I'm just going dry. I just haven't been drinking. It's just not something I've been thinking about. And of course, you could probably see it. I'm still on my weight journey. I've already met my weight goal. I'm on to my next one. So we're going to keep pushing. So I'm down a few fish. The white fish did attack the red fish. So now there's just white and black fish in the tank anymore. So I don't know what's going on. Like maybe it's the Captain America movie coming out with the Red Hulk. All the red fish are gone now. So I'm just lost on how all the red fish got attacked.
Right.
Like what happened? Like that was really rude to see. I have no idea. I just know that they just started going one at a time, and I'm like, I can tell that they being attacked because you see the little fins and stuff be chewed up. But you like, what the heck? So I don't know what happened. I don't know. Maybe and I know that not all fish have a long lifespan, right? And then of course, they get very irritable in certain moments, and they can be semi-aggressive. So just watching them, live life through the little glass life that I have created in there. So, and then Lemmy's doing pretty good. He's he's still growing pretty big. He's still good and green. So everything as far as like E is going is pretty good. Scotch with E is still rocking. I'm actually thinking of expanding on a few things. Scotch with E may get retired, and I have to come up with a name that may be a little bit more streamlined, more company facing, because most people think of Scotch and they think either tape or alcohol, and
changing the brand.
I think of both too. So, but Scotch with E is always still going to be me. I'll still own it. So, that's me. That's what's up.
Wait, no. Like in the spirit of season 4, we haven't necessarily given the title to season 4, but like when I talk and think about updates, Johnny, you gave an update. It was cool. I gave an update. It was cool. But something happened in Eric's life that really needs updating. Like for real, my man. Like you gotta tell the EMM family what went down. I'm saying this because I was really proud of how you handled it, like, and how you maneuvered through it. So like I want to make sure I'm celebrating like how you handled this, because I don't know that I would have handled it in the same way that you did. And if we gonna get to some truth, man, you know what I'm saying? Let the people know, educate them, motivate them on how to maneuver.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. So So we gonna jump into it. So this whole season 4, the one thing that we want to do is make sure that we lead with truth, trust, and transparency. And in the vein of leading with truth, trust, and transparency, the triple T's, I did experience something at the beginning of this year that a lot of people have maybe have not experienced, and it's more of a common phenomenon now than it was before.
Yeah.
My car was stolen, guys. I woke up. I'm an early riser. I was going out to the car to go get to the gym like I typically do about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. And I walked outside. My car was not there. Where I had left it. Now, there were quite a few decisions that I had made that led to me leaving my car outside, even though I do have a garage. I don't look to try to find the fault in my decisions, as much as I understand that no matter what you do, sometimes you're not always going to be able to protect the things you care about, because it's not always for you to protect. Sometimes you got to go through some stuff to realize that it's not meant for you to have to deal with. So the day before, I was having a whole conversation with a friend of mine about the fact that I've been in the market thinking about getting a new car. I've owned my car for a few years, been paid it off. I love my car, take care of it. I bought it brand new off the lot. Everybody knows that, right? But I also never really invested in my car in the ways that I typically did, meaning like I had to put tinted windows and then put a bunch of frills and stuff on there, because I never wanted to draw attention to it. And that was a mindset that I had adapted to, because I've owned 23 cars in my life. Most of them I did all of these things to sell them and to upgrade the value. That way I could enjoy them. When I got to this car, I had the mindset of I'm a father, I'm a corporate man. I don't need all of these things anymore. So I kept my car pretty stock and took good care of it. So needless to say, waking up to see that my car was stolen, most people, they are pissed, they are mad, they are livid. I mean,
yes.
But for some strange reason in that moment, I couldn't be mad. I couldn't be upset. Everything in me that typically would make me hulk out and rage,
right,
it was gone. I literally had no anger to tap into to be mad. It was the craziest thing I think I've ever experienced in my life, because I walked out and I looked and I didn't see my car where it was supposed to be parked, and I looked down. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I parked the car in the garage. Maybe I did. I don't see the garage door. Oh, yeah, maybe I'm tripping. Come back into place, look at my spot. I don't see the garage door opener. Now I know I can't put my car in the garage and not take the garage door opener, because I needed to open it and close it. So if I don't have the garage door opener, then the car's not in the garage. Okay, well, I have the keys. So let me find my second set of keys. Yep, I got my backup keys too. So the calm Eric took 100% control in that point to go, let's make sure we do the right thing. Don't just get emotional. Don't just go off. Don't just freak out. Don't start calling everybody. Go, oh my God, this is what I'm going through. This is what I'm going through. No. Slow down. Ground yourself. It's Monday. I typically work from home. So, okay, I can still work, and there's not going to be any interruption to my day-to-day responsibilities. I know who to call. So, call the authorities, file the police report, call my insurance, open the claim. By 9:30, all of those things are already done. And now I'm just sitting at my desk working like normal, as if it was a normal day when my car would be outside, but it's not. So it was so seamless how I dealt with it that it was almost scary that I had the presence of mind to keep my composure, to know how to deal with the situation, to not go and seek, anything at that point. Yeah. To be like, this God told me to sit still and deal with this situation, so I will. So I was very obedient in that moment, and because I was obedient in that moment, everything that needed to happen just started happening naturally, right? I didn't rage against the world and go lash out at everybody and be mad at everybody for everything I was going through and what I had to deal with. No, I just was like, okay, well, here's why I've done what I've done to date. So, and you guys know me. God put me where I am today. So if anything ever happened, I will never have to worry. And literally that's what happened. Something happened and it was like, God got me. God already told me how to, I got everything around me. I don't need anything. God literally put me right in the box that if anybody did try to touch me, you're like, son, you don't need that. Your car gone, you don't need that.
Yeah.
This is gone, you don't need that. You can still be just as blessed as you was when you woke up knowing that your car was stolen. And it was so profound. And I've been in that lull of just like, oh, okay. I mean, hey, police ain't done with the car. Okay, well, cool. They're not done with the car. All right, let's just keep it going. I might not have a car for another month or two, but I'm not worried. It doesn't even bother me. My mom literally just texted me and she's like, hey, Eric, you good? What? Why? Because if I needed something, I could probably be like, hey, mom, can you take me somewhere? Or can I get a ride here?
Yeah.
I have friends lining up to like, hey, I mean, if you need a ride, just ask me. Yeah. Because I've never been the person to ask for anything. I've never been in a position to depend on anybody. So when something bad happens to good people and you've never been the woe is me type person, it's so easy to kind of deal with it because everybody knows you don't need help. You don't want help. You need help. And they don't mind to offer it to you. And I am only accepting the help that I can actually use too, right? I'm not going out here going, well, right now I'm in this position. I need everybody to run me around and do this and do that. Yeah. No. If I don't have an absolute need for it and I'm just getting people to kind of come to deal with my wants, I'm not asking for it.
Yeah.
I'm going to deal with the things that I need because that is what God is reducing my life down to. Eric, just deal with the things you need to right now. Anything extra you can't do right now. Yeah. Okay. All right. So the podcast, Scotch and E, going to work, my kids, all the things that matter, right? My health, like, all of that. My mom and them still picking me up on the weekends for us to go work out. So so everything that I need to happen is still happening. I haven't missed the beat. So
E, man, listen. This, I think that is one of the most amazing stories. But even in the context of this season, I would love for the EMM family in the comments to, like, if that happened to you, what would you have done? Like, be honest. Like, tell the truth. Like, what would happen if you woke up and your car was gone? Put in the comments what you might do. How might you handle it? And it doesn't make what E did right or wrong, good or bad. It just makes where the station he is in his life. Right. That's what he did. What I want to hear while y'all are typing in the comments, Johnny, if it was you, what would you have done? How would you have responded in that moment?
I don't know. I probably would, I probably would have just, I'm trying to really put myself in the position. That's what's taking me so long.
All right, here you go. I'm going to paint a picture for you, Johnny. I'm going to paint a picture for you. I got you. You know where you live. You know how you rock. Let's say one night, you didn't park in the garage. You ran in the house. Y'all had a good night. Everything good. It's Monday morning. You about to head out to go to work. You headed to, building B. Not your normal building A. You're going to building B today. But then when you walk outside, ain't no car.
Woo. Yeah, I probably would have just first thing I do is call Terry, call my dad. And what is my dad gonna do? He don't even live here. I gotta call my daddy.
But what you calling your daddy for? What are you doing? Like, what are you talking about?
I was like, Dad, my car was stolen? And then they'll tell me what to do, the both of them. Mm-hmm. And then I would have told y'all. That would have been my day. I don't know. I honestly think, and I'm not trying to be like trying to take a high road or anything like that, but I probably would have been very similar to E, because then what? But I only think only thing about that, because it would have been in my driveway, I would have felt so violated.
Mm-hmm.
So that would have been the difference in that piece of it. Like, oh my God, somebody was literally in my driveway. That would have freaked me out. And who knows what Terry would have done. So that's a whole nother story. But it probably have been very similar, because what you gonna do?
Right.
Other than take care of the necessary things you need to do, call who you need to call, including my dad for some reason. And then keep it pushing. I don't know.
Listen,
what about you, CT? What would you have done?
Listen, I'm listening to when you sent us that story, like I thought about this. So in times of crisis, I oftentimes am the level-headed person, right?
Okay.
So I have a high responsibility gene. So in the context of this tool called Strength Finders, my number one strength is responsibility. So anytime I show up to a thing, no matter what it is, I'm going to lead with responsibility. So in many ways, the back of my mind first goes to call the insurance company, blah, 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 blah. But I had to go way in front of what I was going to do with my responsibility. And I was like, what was happening in my head? What was happening in the thing that I didn't say out loud, right? So there is the thing that I do, and there's the thing that nobody ever knows, because I can't let them see. I can't be transparent in letting them, Johnny, see the OCD guy that's sitting inside, the perfectionist person that's sitting inside, that is now asking the question, what could I have done differently? What did I do wrong? How did this happen? Where did it go? And I have this level of anxiety that kicks in that says, wait a minute, there's a thing that I did that I know is supposed to be in the same place it's supposed to be, and it's not there. What happened? And I will play the tape. You hear me when I tell you, if there was an investigation, somebody had a videotape that was playing, man, I went to the back closet, I opened up the shelves, I pulled back the tape, hit rewind, and was like, all right, what are all the things that have happened that have caused or potentially made this thing happen? And in many ways, it's like there was nothing that I could have done to prevent. Like in my mind, I was playing this back. I was like, there's nothing that I could have done to prevent it, except, I could have put it in the garage, or I could have there are all of these things that I could have done, didn't do, and yet none of that was in my control. That it happened. And so that's when my responsibility kicks in. But it doesn't mean that all of that other stuff isn't going on. It doesn't mean that all of those other things that are happening inside of my mind, because I go back. So then I go to, in the responsibility, my insurance is about to go up. How am I going to get people around? I got a family I got to make sure I'm going through. So all the other nuances that come with that singular thing that happened, my car is not there. That might be the point, but all of the things that are attached to my car is not there. Now run the list of the to-dos that I've got to now check off inside of me, but not always am I sharing with everybody all of that check off list, right? So there's depth to the truth that I have to tell, that when that singular thing happened, what level of transparency am I going to have? What kind of truth am I presenting to others? And do I trust that it's actually going to work out for my good? Thank you for the comment around how God has been introduced into how you were thinking. Because if I know it's going to work out for my good, then it's going to be okay, right?
Right.
And yet, there's still some other stuff that's happening behind the scenes that I never talk about. That's like, if I let somebody know that level of real anxiety that's happening to me, they'd be like, wait, what's wrong with you? Nothing. It is just what happens in a normal world where the thing that I don't know could happen, I'm dwelling on. That's my anxiety. So I'm dwelling on insurance going up. I'm dwelling on how we're going to get the family around. I'm dwelling on all of this stuff that's now lifting my anxiety in the space that, wait a minute, I can't do anything about it now except call the police, call my insurance company, and let the process work out the way the process needs to work out. So I needed us to talk about what happened to you, man, because I literally was playing the tape
I'm really surprised that no one mentioned the person who took the car. No one mentioned, neither one of you mentioned wanting that person to feel the wrath of whatever whatever needs to come down upon them. Let it rain now. I'm surprised that didn't that didn't pop up at all to either one of you.
Well, so that's a very
Let me just say this real quick, because I think stealing from someone is one of the lowest things that you could possibly do. That's why I mentioned like feeling violated. Like you came on to my property and my driveway and took something that belonged to me, that I worked for, that I earned my money and to purchase, and you have the audacity to take it. Something needs to happen.
So I do not disagree with you. Everybody that knows me knows that E is somebody who will hold you to that line. And the whole thing is because like people have talked to me about this and kind of like got my perspective, but I'll keep it as clean as this.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who love to live on the edge, and the edge is the line where you are now impacting other people a lot of times. So for instance, it only takes one time for you to do something to get caught, right? But you can hurt 100 people before you ever get caught the one time. But what happens is the compounding of the fact that you never thought that you would get caught is the reason why you get caught. So I say that to say that the person who may have done me wrong today may not get their just due for what they did to me.
Yeah.
Because I may have been positioned to be the person that you can do that to, because I look at it like this: ain't no kids not getting to school by stealing my car. Ain't no people not making it to their medical appointments by stealing my car. Like there's so many things that are not being hurt by stealing my car, that if you would have done it to another person, you would be impeding and hindering their livelihood too. So I'm in a blessed place to be able to sit here and not be mad. But I'm also in the place to be able to look that person in the face and say, I can forgive you for your situation, but that doesn't stop me from wanting you to deal with the repercussions of your choices. Because that's what you have to do. Now, unfortunately, we do live in a place where it is known that the consequences are minimal for these types of crime due to the fact that most of the culprits are not prosecuted, because people don't prosecute them. They find out that they're kids or, whatever. And then they're like, oh, well, I got the car back, I'm okay. And that enables the behavior of somebody think it's not that big of a deal. The police officer that took my actual report let me know that there was a kid that had got caught. They send him to these classes. He goes to the class and he don't like the class. They can't even force him to stay. He's bored. So he gets up, walks out to the parking lot, steals a car and rolls out. You're telling me that we live in a Grand Theft Auto, there's no consequences, parents are not knowing where their kids are at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning society, then unfortunately, cars are going to get stolen, because there's no responsibility and accountability for the people who would be able to stop this before it ever happens. So it's all reactionary now, right? It's all kind of after the fact that we're like, oh, you're going through this. Now, it leads me to a question now to ask you guys. You remember that it used to be we're a community. If somebody was walking around CT's car and we lived in the same neighborhood, it would be me going, hey, get away from that car.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You don't live there.
Yeah.
If somebody was running on Johnny's yard or running through her yard and I was her neighbor, hey, you don't live there. You need to stay out of her yard.
Yeah.
Now we live in this society where people try to stay to themselves because, and if I'm being honest, criminals have won. Criminals have won to the point to where people are too afraid to stand together against crime. I'd rather not have any problems or anybody know that I was the one that told. Wait, I want people to know. I have no problem if they find the person that steals my car. I have no problem going into court, looking the person in the face, saying, yes, you deserve criminal consequences because of your actions. You impeded my life. You mess with my livelihood. So there's consequences for that. You should go deal with those. If somebody wants to come back and retaliate against this person being held accountable for crossing a line that the law has set, and they want to take that out on me as the person that was victimized of that crime, they're only perpetuating the same crime set of mindset. And that is the problem that we live with today. It's okay to get away with things as long as it's your people. Listen, I got friends that grew up and they knew that their friends was murderers, but they're hanging out with the people that their friends murdered, but they cousins. No, they family. You got to stop. We have to stop being okay with crime and crossing lines just because it's our people, because we're hurting other people's people when we do that. So when if they call me up and I have the opportunity to speak, please throw the book at him. Here's an extra one.
Yes, I got one for you.
Yep. It's a Webster's. Webster's whole volume, the whole thing.
That Joan encyclopedia, like when they came to the house.
The Britannia.
Yes, I remember that.
You get the encyclopedia, the dictionary, and the thesaurus, baby. You get all of them.
Johnny, it's a great question. It never occurred to me that in the context of that discussion, the thing that I was focused on was the person who did something to me.
Right. Like, I'm so surprised by. Not really, but yeah.
But a part of it to me is like in instances like this for me, like the truth of it for me is that the reason why someone did this is something that's broken in them, not necessarily broken in me. And to the extent that when I think about these kinds of circumstances, I am more focused on my response is a greater indicator of what my next response can be in myself rather than my response being dictated by what somebody else did to me. I don't know if that made sense, but to me, let me say it differently. Let me say it differently.
Okay.
I can't live my life based upon what somebody did to me.
True.
I have to live my life based upon how I respond to the thing that was done to me. It's better said. And so if somebody steals my car, if I spend all my time focused on the person who stole my car versus on what I'm doing now that my car is gone, is a better way for me to live my life, because what I cannot control is them. Now, to Eric's point, if they get caught, I do have a responsibility to help them find themselves. And helping them find themselves means you get to carry the burden of the decision that you made. In the same way, like, so we had a situation, and it wasn't a car robbery, but we had an instance in our home where somebody did something that created a situation where the police would have needed to be called. Okay. And I had to have an immediate response that says, if the police come, it escalates this to a whole nother level.
Right.
And while this person who is doing this thing might earn and or deserve the police to come and deal with them,
yeah,
I have to deal with all of the other things that come with the police coming.
Yeah.
And so a part of these instances for me really does reflect back. This is me. This is my truth, right? My truth is I honor and recognize that the world is not equal. And sometimes things that happen externally that impact me internally, I have to first deal with the internal me before I ever address what's happening externally. Because if I'm only addressing what's happening externally, it's going to happen again. And now I'm in the swirl of now having to manage all of the external stuff. And now I'm unfulfilled. I'm unsatisfied. And now it seeps into my work. It seeps into how I think about myself. It seeps into every other aspect of my life, Johnny. So it was a great question. And I'm like, I didn't even think about who took the car. It was about how I responded to it when it happened. So I don't know.
Johnny, you know, like the inner E was like, oh, I mean, they did. I mean, I don't know. Ain't nothing to think about. I mean, they did. Like, that's what it is. I know, like the inner me, the inner me was like, if I find out who it is, they did. Like, in my mind, it's like, let me find out who you are. I will do all of the research. I will find out all your social handles. I'll find out where you hang out. Where I get your police record.
I'm like, isn't there just a little bit of that in there?
I mean, of course, I found out where my car was. I found all the details that I could. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't for me to be like, I'm about to go get you, because I'm like, nah. Because like if I really, and it's funny because I was telling somebody today, like, I am such a nice person, almost 96% of the time. You got 3% of me going like, all right, cool, but there's a 1% monster in here that becomes a 100% monster if you mess with him.
Is his name Chaos?
No. Actually, he is just the monster. Yeah, like he is just the monster. Like, oh my God. I don't want to deal with him because I don't care about anything when I turn into that 1%. It's like that 1% is just the id going crazy. Like, I don't care about that. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. If I got to punch you in the face, I'll punch you in the face. I don't care. I don't care if you're a woman. You said it. You get it. So like, it's just, that's why I got to stay away from that 1%. And I give people that little 3%, a little cushion before they get to that 1%. If you dealing with 96% Eric and he's nice and caring, and you got to deal with that 3% Eric where he got to be like, then you are pressing to the one where it's like,
like a segment. That feels like a whole new segment. Like either the segment it is called the 3%, that's probably the more acceptable one. Or Johnny, what if the segment was called the 1%? The inner me. Oh, that would be
right. I like that.
Can we have we can think about a small segment and said the inner me, like
the inner me. Well,
you need to put a disclaimer before that, like disclaimer, like you about to hear a level of truth and transparency like you've never heard before.
That might be the ladies and gentlemen, that might be the section of the show that we actually start cussing on. It's gonna be all in there, all in that little box. That little box is gonna be over there like, this is the truth, transparency, and tell it how it is section.
Here we go.
That's the section I would tell my mama, click off right here, mama. Click off, mama, and then come back in about 3 minutes. Like,
yes, if you got sensitive ears, bye. Because we about to go in.
That's right.
Do we have to put the exclaimer on the thing if we go there? Do we have to put the explicit disclaimer? The disclaimer out there for people?
As a matter of fact, the whole screen should just be the disclaimer. They about to get real. Watch out. They gonna say some tangs. Like that's what I want. I wanted to say tangs, not tangs. They gonna say some tangs.
Where is Cam right now? Where is like Cam should have a hashtag. He is sweating in the background like, oh my God, what is this pod? What is going on?
Well, I mean. CT, you actually segue into a wonderful thing because we are looking to build new content for the show. And one of the new segments that we are going to be introducing is one that I will be partnering with a fun friend that everybody seems to know. It's always great to have additional voices, but today we're just going to introduce a segment and I'm going to play around with asking some fun questions of CT and Johnny just to learn a little bit more as we learn more about the pretty lies and the ugly truths. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you to the Pretty Lies and the Ugly Truth. This is a segment where we deal with the pretty lies and ugly truths of relationships. It's not specific to dating.
Does this sound work here, E? Hold on. No?
Yes.
Oh, wait. How's this one? Wait.
That's my favorite. Y'all know that's my favorite.
Yes. So it did work. It didn't work. So this segment, we talk about relationships. We talk about some of the things that we typically don't want to talk about, that things that people tend to make pretty, but in reality, they tend to be ugly. And
did we say we were gonna do this?
I did. So I mean, you guys can just sit there and deal with this if you want, but I'm going to ask you a question because I really want to know how you guys feel. So
good.
So I want to start off this segment just by breaking into something that is based in the theme. What is a pretty lie that you have told before? And what's an ugly truth that you've told before? CT, I'm going to come to you. That's a pretty truth. And that laugh is an ugly lie.
Cam did not take me off camera. I was just like, I
know Cam did take you off.
I told her, I ain't telling you what the lie is.
Pretty lie.
Why? See, this is the host. Why? What's wrong with pretty lies, Johnny? You tell him.
So pretty lies. So listen. So pretty.
Would you like an example of a pretty lie?
No.
Yeah,
pretty lies. Show. I got it. Okay. I'm a parent.
I need one.
I pretty lie all the time. I pretty lie as a parent every single day. No, whether it's my adult children or is when they was younger.
Like what?
No, yeah, let me do. It's okay. This is the transparent and trust.
That's right.
Yes, come on.
So let's not even do my kids. Let's just say as a married man, there have been times where my pretty lie is, yes, that looks nice on you.
Oh,
that is a pretty lie.
It doesn't mean that's never happened with Melanie.
Mm-hmm.
But it could happen with others. That looks nice on you.
Can she tell when that's a pretty lie? Y'all been together a long time. She be like, "Boy, that's a lie."
But the ugly truth is that I don't tell any more pretty lies, because there was a moment where I was just like, I don't know, based upon my upbringing, my training, am I allowed to tell this ugly truth? Because an ugly truth could turn into a pretty silent place to be. And so it had to grow on you. Like sometimes your kids would have wanted something that you couldn't provide or you couldn't do, so you told a pretty lie, right? Because the ugly truth was the funds weren't there. And sometimes you don't want to tell the ugly truth of what is there and what is not there. Like there's the ugly truth of right now, I started a brand new business. There is no income until I land a client.
Yeah.
The ugly truth is you can't have it. There's no pretty, there's no ugly. It is just the truth. This is like the answer is no. Unless I had an old boss years ago. He said, if you can fund it, you can have it. Like I've never forgotten that ugly truth. If you can fund it, you can have it. So I was like, I want to do a team building thing, or I want to add this thing, or I want to buy this. Like, if you can fund it, if your team can fund the thing that you want, you can have the thing that you want. Right. And so the ugly truth is I can't just have everything I want. So the pretty lie is, yeah, you can have it, but you got to finish it. You got to finish it with if you can provide for it, if you can fund it, if you can do it. So that's how I would answer the pretty lie, ugly truth. In episode number 1 as we kick off season 4 from CT Chocolate Drop of Core Inclusive Consulting.
All right. What about you, Johnny Malige? Have you told some pretty lies and some ugly truths?
This is racking my brain. I tell ugly truths all the time. Pretty lies, on the other hand, I do. Especially because we went to like relationships and people that's closest to them. I always tell the truth. That's fine. It doesn't matter. A pretty lie. Yeah. I'm glad.
Hashtag we know.
We know.
I'm glad that's known of me, as opposed to the other thing. Like, oh, you never tell the truth. I don't, y'all. I'm struggling. Give me an example of a pretty lie.
Can I take back anything I said? I was like, I never lie. Can I just say that? Like,
No, because that would be an ugly truth that you never lie.
That seemed pretty to me. Okay, go ahead. What were you?
I'm glad that I boxed you into that lie. So Johnny, like
about the topic, but I just can't think of an example.
Johnny, for me, like, you know, I'm a Band-Aid ripper. I'm somebody who will give you a pretty lie and an ugly truth all in one line. Sometimes, so you got to watch out. I have been the bearer of bad news where I have let people know things that were little intricate lies that led to the ugly truths about the situation. So
what?
So I have had to tell people, like, you remember that time I didn't call you back?
Oh, okay.
That's because see what I'm saying? Because
which one is that?
Is that a pretty lie or the truth? So I prefaced it with my pretty lie. You remember that time I didn't call you back? It's because I didn't want to call you back. I really didn't want to.
Okay.
And here's why I didn't want to call you back. Like I told you I was busy, but I didn't want to talk to you. So that's a pretty little lie. But
that
the ugly truth is, but hold on. Hold on though. The pretty little lie is you like going like, oh well, I'm busy, or I'll call you back, but you have no intentions to call
okay, now
back.
that's fair.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like these are little. There we go.
With me, okay, and in that case, yes, I do that. I'm trying to cut back on that. That's a perfect example, E, because I'm so it doesn't have anything to do with the other person. And like, I don't want to talk to you. I just want to talk. I don't want to be on the phone. I don't want to go out and about in the world and see people. I want to be here. And sometimes I think that causes too much explanation. Like, well, I just don't want to do that. I don't want to go out.
So Johnny, is that a pretty lie or an ugly truth?
So that would be a pretty lie, because I usually would say, oh yeah, I didn't even see that text or whatever. But I'm getting out of that now and just like, I'm just going to tell people the truth. Because I feel like if you text me and ask me to dinner, then we're close enough that I can be like, I just don't want to go. I
don't want to go. Yeah.
Why is that not an ugly truth though? Like I feel the way you just laid that out, it's an ugly truth, not a pretty lie.
But CT, check it out. Check it out. The pretty lie is her saying, "Oh, I'm busy," or "I didn't know." Yeah, that's the pretty lie. But the ugly truth is, I did not want to go.
So it's how you said it that makes it pretty. But the reality is, all of it is an ugly truth.
Yeah. So she told the pretty lie to cover up the ugly truth. The truth is, I don't want to go with your stupid.
There you go.
So that's
but the pretty lie is,
it's not a pretty
truth. Wait. Hear me out. I don't want to go with your ugly, but it's the ugly truth. But instead of me saying it, I'm gonna say, "Ooh, I am not free that day."
So what makes it pretty is how you said it, not necessarily what it is.
Yeah, because I told the pretty little lie of, "Oh, I'm not available that day," instead of the ugly truth of, "I want to go with your ugly butt."
No, you don't have to.
Okay, we need the EMM family to chime in on this one because I feel like
that's just an example.
Reality of this season is, by the way, we are going to create some opportunities where, like, I know not that we agreed about everything in the first 3 seasons, but this season there's some stuff that we're gonna talk about that I feel like we're gonna build trust with each other because we're gonna tell the truth, and the level of transparency we're gonna give might create some tension that says, Johnny, what you said, what I heard you say is that in all of your prettiness, get your hair together, you done got it together. It's like in your prettiness, you're gonna say it in a particular way. But Johnny is ugly. It's an ugly truth that you just laid out there, but you said it in a pretty way.
What's the ugly truth? What are you saying? What are you saying? I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying here.
But we'll make it make sense for me then, Johnny.
I said what I had to say. No, I think
you hashtag me. Did you just hashtag?
No, the pretty lie. Maybe it was. I don't know. But all I know is that when E gave that example, that resonated with me because I am the queen of like not wanting to leave my house or talk or do anything besides the people that's in this house. And so that I do often. That I'm trying to break from and just be honest and say, I don't want to go. It has nothing to do with you. I just enjoy being home.
So what's wrong with that being the ugly lie versus the pretty truth?
Well, it's ugly to the other person that Johnny doesn't want to spend time with her. Johnny's looking them in the face going, "Yeah, I'll give you a great example. I'll give you
no. It's like,
yeah, I don't want to. I'll give you an example of how this literally worked out. Where I did this in real time. We're sitting at work. And there was a group of people. We're all sitting around talking, and this girl walks up and she said something to me. I look at her and I was like, I really don't want to talk about that. And that was my pretty lie, right? Because I was just being nice instead of just shutting down. And I was like, that's my pretty lie. And then she was like, well, do you want to hear about my thing? My ugly truth was no.
Yes.
That wasn't a pretty lie. All of it was.
Well, I told the first thing, which was kind of like, yeah, no, I don't really want to hear it, but then I'm gonna tell you anyway. Do you want to hear it anyway? No. Like I tried. I tried to. Well, it wasn't what I wanted to say. It was as nice as I could be.
Now I'm back to where CT was talking about. Okay, where he said, "Is it just the way you saying it? It's what makes
of course it is because it's pretty. It sounds so nice when you. It's harder. So CT, here's a great example. You invite me to lunch. You're like, hey E, hey, let's meet up for lunch, wherever. And my response is, oh, CT, I have a couple of commitments that really such. And I tell you. It's a lie, but I'm telling you this. But now hear me out. If the truth is, nah, dude, I'll rock with you like that. Why did I say all of this kind of niceties to make you this pretty lie when the truth is I would never want to go to lunch with you. I would never go. If that's really where I am, the first thing I'm doing is telling you is I have a conflict instead of, nah, bro, I'm good.
Bro, like this is
why I do it.
Honest answer. Okay, Johnny, I heard what you said, Johnny. I want to hear this. Like this lives for me as the honest answers only framework that I like. I want to live my life by, but I'm telling so many lies that are ugly truths in me that I don't know which one is which sometimes based upon who it is, because I'm trying to maintain relationship with you. And if I had to actually tell you a pretty truth, you couldn't handle it. So, but Johnny, anyway. So, Johnny, what were you getting ready to say?
I like what you were headed with. Okay, because I am such an introvert that I enjoy my time doing me, and that could simply be y'all know what I like to do. Whatever, me, Ace, Terry, the girls, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, but I realize that I am a human. I am a person in this world. I need relationships for many different reasons. All the things that we've always talked about on this podcast, I need relationships. And so, I feel like that sometimes I have to, even when I don't want to show up and do the thing I need to, so that I can maintain this relationship. And so sometimes I think it's easier for me to say like, oh, I didn't even see that, or oh, we have something going on when we really don't have anything going on, than me just saying, I'm just not doing that right now. I'll holler at you when I'm ready to. Like, that's not fair either. I know this as a person, logically, but it still is not, I don't know.
But so Johnny, I love what you just said, because what you just brought together was the whole intent of this segment. Yeah. I love how you said that, because what it is that we tell pretty lies because we want to hide the ugly truths from the relationships that we want to maintain. Because if we don't want to maintain those relationships, we typically tell the ugly truths. But because we care about these people in some way, or care about the outcome of the relationship, insert pretty lies.
That's very true.
All right. I had a friend of mine years ago. He said to me, and I've never forgotten this. I don't always do it well, but he said, if I invite you to something and you're thinking about going, or you might not go, tell me no. He said, because if you tell me yes, I've set my expectation that you're going to be there. It doesn't matter what else happens that might cause you not to be there. Just tell me yes, and then follow your word, or tell me no. That was one of the most impactful things, because the truth of the matter is, and we talked about this last season, is that sometimes people are like, I just want to be invited. I'm not trying to show up. I just want to know that you thought about me, that I was being included. I have zero intention of showing up or participating, or even, I don't even want to go. I just want to know that you thought of me, and you said the pretty lie to me, and you said, will you come to my thing? Not really wanting me to be there. And then we had to wrestle with the ugly truth of telling our pretty lie.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to show up for you. Daggone well. I'm not even trying to go. I don't want to be there. I'll have worked all day long. It's at 5:30. And what happens sometimes, even in work context, right? Somebody says something at 5:30, and you're like, I've been at work all day, and you want me to give my human time, my family time, my Terry and the girls time, my E time, my Chris and the Thompson 5 time to you for free? You want me to give me to you? I'm going to pretty lie you in this moment because I do want the relationship to extend. But can we normalize this idea? I love this segment, E.
Me
Can
too.
we normalize the idea that sometimes my ugly lie is actually an acceptable, pretty truth? And if we can normalize people getting to a place where I just tell the truth, whether you perceive it as ugly or pretty, it is just the truth.
My uncle, one of my uncles used to always say, like, you're not doing anybody any favors by not telling them the truth. Just tell them the truth. And so I kind of sometimes I keep that in mind, like, I'm just gonna say no. I'm not gonna come. I don't want to do it, and then just let it go.
Hey Johnny, can we come to your house for to the back patio when the spring comes?
Hell yeah, absolutely you can.
That was a pretty truth.
Absolutely you can. I never said that you guys couldn't come or didn't want to invite you or whatever. We just had mattresses back there. Things happened. It wasn't the time to invite people.
I'm just saying though, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I drink and lay down too. So I mean, I don't know why I drink and know things, okay? Tyrion Lannister. Let's go.
There's a head. There it is. There it is.
You get what it is. I've actually told people that's what was happening.
Yes. It's gonna be a good season, y'all. It's gonna be a good season.
All right. Well, thank you guys for helping me kick off the Pretty Lies and Ugly Truth segment. There's going to be a lot of different conversations, but just kind of setting the groundwork of what a pretty lie and what an ugly truth is. We're going to deal with a lot of relationship-based things. This can be family, it can be dating, it can be marital, but we really just want to be able to just deal in that space because since we're dealing with truth, trust and transparency, the thing we have to do is root out all those pretty little lies by exposing all those ugly little truths. Come on, we're gonna have a lot of fun this season, y'all. Yeah. For those that are listening, if you can tune in or chime into YouTube every now and then and see some of the expressions. This episode, the big smiles, the wonderful conversation. I miss this. I miss seeing you guys. So I'm very happy to be back. Thank you, Cam. I want to take this time right now before we move into wrapping up to do a big shout out to the homeboy Cam, who's behind the scenes, always making things happen. Guys, we were worried about Cam for a little bit, man. We stay prayed up all the time. And when the enemy comes and attacks, like they attack us in the hinge. Like they find, that little weak space too, right there. Like, and you can't tell what's going on. So I'm glad that my man Cam is doing better, feeling good. We're happy to have you back, brother.
Yes, so glad.
Thank you for saying that. For you. Keeping you in prayer, Cam, for sure.
Yes. So I'm just going to go ahead and say this. This season's not going to be like any other season. It won't be E doing all the talking. I won't be doing the introductions. I won't be doing the outros. We're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be a little bit more free form. We're going to have some guests on here. We're going to have some fun conversation topics. We're going to shoot on location. We're going to travel. We may show up where you're at. We may invite you. To have us be there with you. So who knows how this show is going to go. Season 4 is out and we are ready to make it happen.
Ooh.
So I don't have any final words. Y'all anything y'all want to lead the audience with today?
I'm just looking forward to this, especially after the Pretty Lies and Ugly Truth conversation. Like, let's go. Let's get into it. Truth, trust.
What was it? I was like, tell the truth. Like, that's like this season, we're going to tell the truth. Like, and whether you like the truth, whether you accept the truth, or whether you want the truth,
you can't handle the truth.
You can't handle the truth. That's it. That's right. That's my final thought. That's my beginning, my end, and my final thought. We're gonna have some fun, y'all. And I want the easy Monday motivationers to like really get into this season, like share with your friends and family. We're gonna get into it. There is a lot that's going on in our society today. People need to be motivated, people need to be inspired, but most importantly, we need to figure out what is this what's the truth we need to be telling with each other and for each other so we can lift each other. So come in the room, invite your people to be in the room, but let's have some fun as we tell the truth in the room. So I'm here for it.
I love it. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, as always, you have heard everything that we have for you. It is the Easy Monday Motivation Crew Season 4. And I guess you got to just chill until the next episode. So, like, subscribe, make sure that you follow in. We're everywhere. And if you ain't there, come back here. Peace.
Hey, y'all.
Have a good one.